Charlie, take the woods. Bravo, take the field. Alpha, we'll take the town. And for God's sakes, will somebody find that bomb? It's gotta be here. There's too much cover. Everyone, get to the town.
Good hit. Man down!
Do you ever want, think, I'd like to play this type of role, or do you have a role that you'd ever want to play? Or just even a type of character? Superhero, Batman, anything like that?
He had said something about being a ninja at one point.
Yeah.
We had told his agent, if you get any male, Caucasian, 9 to 12 ninja roles, he's your man. And she said, if I get that, Christopher will be the first person I submit for that role. Is that right? You want to be a ninja? So he's gotten a lot of the roles where he gets to be tough. And I don't know if it's his voice because it's deeper, or I don't know what it is about that role. But he keeps getting picked to be tough. So that's why he said, I have an emotional side. And I said, okay, maybe tell people you have an emotional side, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's very tender-hearted. So maybe he'll get the, jilted boyfriend or, something like that, on the playground.
The nice guy.
Yeah, the nice guy. He could play the nice guy role, huh? That would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be okay.
That could be okay.
And what about you? What kind of roles, what characters do you end up playing? Or what would you like to play?
I mainly get, the dramatic roles. The girl who either gets abused or has to go through parents divorcing, the crying ones, because I get commented a lot on how I can cry, just turn it on and then turn it off. And I think that's a bonus, if you can do that. And because a lot of people nowadays get kids who can't, bring it and then just turn it off and become a kid again. I would really like to get a funny role because I haven't really gotten to show the funny side of me. So I would really like to get a funny role. That would be one of the things that I would really want to get.
Very good. Comedy's fun.
Yes, it is.
Now, as far as, looking into the future and trying to obviously get her into more stuff, and especially since you're just starting out, how do you guys work that out? Have you planned, how do you all as a family communicate, what do you want to do? I don't want to do this anymore. I like to do this, or,
right.
How do you try and help them get to wherever they're trying to get?
Christopher plays a lot of sports, and so I'm anxious to see once sports, because he's had quite a few opportunities this summer, which, his sports aren't really going on right now. So I'm anxious to see what he does once, school starts back and then his sports start up again, if his interest will still remain as far as the acting goes, because he really loves his sports and he's played them forever. So, he's good at them. And so I'm anxious to see if he will continue to do some acting or if it may just be something he wants to do in the summertime. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Kayli, on the other hand, I think this is it. I think she has found her thing, has talked about New York Film Academy, has talked about California, has talked about future college. I want to be, television broadcaster.
Yes, I would really like to be a television broadcaster. That was one of the things that I was telling my mom when I first started acting. I was like, I would really like to broadcast, sports, because I did play sports before I did acting, and I actually just got back into sports when acting settled down. But I would really like to broadcast, because I watch TV and I see these women, and they're just, it's really cool, and if this doesn't work out, like if acting in movies or film doesn't work out, that's the other thing that I really love to do. So.
Something in front of the camera, clearly.
Yeah. Or even behind. I've really wanted to work with the directing piece and the photography piece. So, I mean, I want to do all of it, but I mean, I know that I can only maybe do one or two when I grow up, because I can't just have all of this on my shoulders, and then it's like I can't go to one thing because I have another. But I really just, if I could just do one of those when I grow up, it would be amazing. I'd really love to.
What's nice is at her school, she's a member of the school broadcast team, WPDM, and they get the opportunity to be in all pieces of they do the broadcast, they do the production side. So it's nice that she's getting that experience at school. And then she also did that in elementary school. She was on the broadcast team there. So I think that comfort level in front of the camera helps her a lot, because she just goes in and does the broadcast. But it's nice that they're allowed to run the equipment and set it up, the shots, and
Definitely.
yeah, so that's really been a lot of fun for her too. It gives her another aspect of the production side to be able to be a part of, which is nice, you know, for her. And I noticed too, when we're on set, if someone else is shooting, she's typically right next to the director, looking in the camera, checking the shot. So and every set she has worked on, every set she has worked on has been just positive and incredible for her.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, so everybody that she's worked with, every actor, everybody, it's just been a really, really positive experience for her. And it's been, August will be 4 years that she's been working. So, you know, she gets all these great people that support her. You know, how can you fail? And how could you not want to go to set?
Yeah.
All your friends are there. So it's been really, really, you know, positive experiences for her.
My American Girl magazine, how that happened is we were in New York, and my agency that did print,
Abrams Artist
yes,
Agency.
Abrams Artist Agency, they submitted me. And we went into the casting call having no idea what was going to happen, what was I going to do, because we had never been on a real, you know, print call. And so we walked in and we signed up, and there were all of these little girls. I mean, just sitting there. When we checked in, we're number 324?
75.
375.
Yeah, I remember that number.
and it was only 11:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So, I mean, there were a lot of girls. And so we went in, and they had this huge white screen that you stood in front of. They took about 5 pictures, and they told you what to do for the pictures. And then you left. They said, they didn't even say, we'll get back to you. They just said thank you, and you left. And then the next day, we got a call from Abrams, and they said, your child has been put on hold for the American Girl magazine. There are only like 10 other girls who were put on hold, and I was very lucky. Like, it shocked me. I was like, oh my goodness, I could be in American Girl magazine. And so and then the next day they called, and they were like, okay, you were one of 4 girls, or one of 6 girls to be selected to be in American Girl magazine. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And so we went and
screaming, crying.
yes,
You know, there was all
and
that.
we were in an
Yeah.
apartment with another family who we were staying in New York with, and I was shocked. And we went and we shot in Central Park, and it was the best time of my life. I think that is one of the things that I will never forget. So.
It's pretty exciting. We got the call sheet, and we saw there were 6 models, and it was interesting. They had put them in different configurations for the ad, and so, but they dressed them in American Girl clothing, and they fixed their hair, and you know, they had to hold dolls, and so it was really a lot of fun. We've not seen the ad, which makes me think that it ran in the Northeast, so we didn't ever get to see the final product, but we were pretty psyched that she was able to book something for Abrams. That's a pretty reputable agency to get, A, to be a part of, and B, to be able to book something for them. It was pretty spectacular. So she was really, there was a lot of screaming. When those 2 phone calls came, there was a lot of screaming. So she was very, very thrilled to be able to do that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Now, I mean, aside from you guys did mention that you've done a couple of things, or at least one thing together.
Together, yes.
Did you guys like working with each other on set? Like actually being able to be in the same and like kind of actually experiencing the same thing at the same time?
Yes, it was. We've done a couple of things together now. Mostly not brother and sister, but we still worked together on the same exact thing where he wasn't, bullying me. It was just sort of like a best friend type thing. But we actually did the Mars music video together, and I was the barbarian leader, and he was the Roman leader. And so that was fun because he was all excited because he got to, fight against me with water guns, and so. But I really like working with him a lot. I mean, it's not like trouble. We don't fight on set, or we don't even fight at all, usually. So, I mean, it's not much different than just being brother and sister.
Would you say the same?
I would say the same.
You like having your sister on set sometimes?
Sometimes.
Like having your own spotlight too, though, right?
Yeah.
It was nice too. In the Mars video, he was the lead and she was the supporting. So the music video was about Mars, and he was Mars. And so that was pretty exciting that he had booked the lead and she got to be the supporting in that one. So
because usually, it's I'm the lead and he's the supporting, but it didn't feel weird at all being supporting. I mean, I was still happy I got in it, and I was happy for him too because it was his first big thing, like his first thing that he actually ever got to do. So I mean, I was happy for him, and I didn't care if I was a supporting. I mean, it's happy for me that I even got in it. They could have chose someone else, but I think he was excited too.
And just kind of, you talk about like one person being here, the other here.
Right.
Like, how do you guys kind of make that work? Just as far as at least getting a chance to even see each other while you're whisking one kid off this way and another this way. And
we do see each other.
We're passing the night.
We do. 2 ships passing. It's nice. Go ahead.
I mean, we've had such a long relationship that really, we understand. I mean, we've been married for 19 years now, and we pretty much grew up in the same hometown, 2 blocks away from each other. We've known each other since we were in middle school.
God bless him.
So, we are so compatible and we work so well together that, we support each other, and we know that it's something that has to be done if they really want to do it. And like I said, we just incorporate it into our daily life and just go with it.
We don't have any family that lives here.
Yeah.
So we have to count on each other. This is it right
That's all
here.
we have,
Yeah, so if we're gonna do this, it's gotta be one way, and, we just have to make it happen, and he's wonderful as far as, what do you need me to do? Where do I need to be? What time? Who? What? Where? And so, and I teach school, and so it's nice too, because if they are gonna miss school for anything, I can guarantee that homework will be done, tests will be studied for. They'll come to school, they may be a little bit sleepy from the night before, but they'll be there on
We do most, if we're on road trips, we will do our homework in the car. I will sit and my book bag will be in front of me and I'll be like scrunched, like trying to write. But my number one commitment is getting my homework done, getting it turned in, and getting good grades in school. And we have this agreement that if you don't get good grades, the car stays in the driveway.
That's the agreement, yeah.
And they are both on AB honor roll all year.
They
It's
stay on the
amazing.
honor roll, yeah. They stay on the honor roll, they have great attendance. They're very committed to, because they know school is not going to change. I still have to go to work. You got to sleep in the car after you did your homework. I'm still driving. So we may get home really, really late. I still have to get up, I still have to go to work, I still have to teach my class. So, we all have that clear understanding of what the expectation is that school does come first. And, we're fortunate too that if anything ever does happen and they need to be homeschooled, I can homeschool them. And so, if that needs to happen, it can happen. It's not a big deal. So that's the other nice piece that is in place for them is that, you know, if the time ever comes that I need to homeschool them, they just look forward to hopefully booking a project where they get a set teacher.
Yes.
They, for some reason, seem to think that's the end all right there, is to have a set teacher. This is my set teacher. So, you know, that's what they're kind of aspiring for, is a set teacher, which I think is an indicator to them that that's the big time, right?
You've made
Yes.
it.
You've made it if you have a set teacher.
If you could be at school long enough that you have a
Right,
whole
that
teacher.
somebody else
so
gets to teach
come.
you in a trailer, and they, yeah, so apparently that's their definition of success, is a set teacher, you know?
That makes sense. That's
Right.
a pretty good standard there.
Yeah, it's not a bowl full of green M&Ms or, you
No,
know,
yeah, it's realistic and actually like beneficial goal to have.
I feel like I'm a successful person if I have a set teacher, so yeah, it's funny. It's funny what they define as success, but that seems to be a big thing for them, is that they want a set teacher. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's great. I mean, if nothing else, obviously all of you work really well together and try and just make sure that everybody else is happy, coming along. And that's really great to see, especially as, you know, if you're having to run different places.
Right.
I know a lot of, you know, obviously there's a lot of jokes about like child actors and then parents that unfortunately put their kids into that type of thing, but it's, you guys want to.
Yes.
And
want
you're
to.
just supporting
Yeah.
that, and that's really great. Like,
Well, and two, I think that you know very quickly if they don't want to. You see the resistance, you feel the negativity, you can tell. We've met lots of really cool kids and lots of really cool moms, and I've made a whole group of friends with these ladies that I would not have met otherwise, because they all are in different parts of the north, you know, the southeast and the northeast, and I feel pretty fortunate that I've got other moms that have similar children with similar goals and similar thinking, and they're trying to do the same thing we're trying to do. And we share ideas and we talk about different experiences that we've had, and it's a nice network to be a part of, that mom group. And Kayli's made lots of great friends on set, and Christopher's starting to make friends on set, and these are kids that she communicates with, you know, just daily. These are, you know, part of her friend group, not just school, but she's got a completely separate group of friends outside of school, child actors. So
that's really good.
it is good, and it's nice when other kids don't see this as, it is competition. I mean, that's basically what you're doing when you're auditioning. You're competing with other people. But when you take it as, you know, you're my friend and I hope you get it, and if you don't get it, I hope I get it.
Yeah.
You know, if you approach it in that way, I think it creates a healthy competition, and it doesn't become cutthroat and evil and mean and, you know, negative for the children. You want this to be positive. And so I think that when you surround yourself with people that approach this in a positive way, it makes a difference, you know, as far as their time on set together. When you see your friends at auditions, you know, that's exciting. And you see other moms, hey, you know, I was hoping I'd get to see you today, because you go months without seeing people sometimes. Facebook is, you know, a wonderful thing, but it's nice to see people in real life too. So
Absolutely.
that really, that has been our experience so far, is it's been positive as far as the competitive piece of it. So she's been very fortunate, but we've made some good friends too.
Remember when we buried Katie?
Yes, I do. She had to leave us, just like the birds did. She went to a different place. Rainbow Bridge.
Tell me that story again, Daddy.
When a pet dies, it takes a journey to the Rainbow Bridge. There are hills and meadows there. All the animals are strong and healthy, just like we remembered them in our dreams and days and times gone by. The animals are also happy and content, except for one small thing. They each missed that special someone they had to leave behind. The rabbits that were left behind, they came to visit the grave of their good friend Katie. And they cried on the grave. A few days later, there was grass growing on the grave where their tears had fallen.
But Katie was lonely on the Rainbow Bridge without Daddy. Then one day, Daddy went to visit Katie on the Rainbow Bridge and never came back.